right, welcome back to Digital December. Today we're covering 3 tools that you have in your toolbox. First one is Supra. I'm going to show you how to access that and where to find the information. That's going to allow you to be able to see which properties you've shown, as well as who's shown your listings based on your lockboxes. The other thing that we're going to cover is under your one login, we're going to talk about ListHub and ListTrac. No, sorry, LiveEasy and ListTrac. So those 2 tools over there, but let's get started. To get to your SupraEKey, I'm in the Berries homepage. So you log in norcal.mls.com, brings you into this homepage. And under your productivity tools, you have your Supra button there. So your screen may look a little different because you can move this dashboard around just a little bit, but it's under productivity tools. You may have to hit the show more button. That should take you to your Supra. It automatically logged me in already, which is handy. So this is your portal. You want to make sure that when you go to add a shackle to your listings, which you would do with your phone app for Supra, it's going to ask you if you want to add that lockbox to your inventory, and you want to say yes, because then it's going to show up here in your Supra account. Okay, so right now, if I go to home, that's where I'm at here. It's got my showings dashboard. It's going to show me what time they logged in and out of that property, or when it timed out. It looks like all these are just set for about an hour, but it will say who accessed that information or who accessed the house. Okay. From there, you can go to assign listing to MLS. So you can, I know if you've used your SupraEKey before, when you go to the property, sometimes it pulls up the property data, and most of the time it'll do it based on location, or it'll ask you when you're adding the shackle to a listing for either the property address or the MLS number. Here's where you can assign that. You just click on the little house, you put in the MLS code there. It gives you the serial code of that one, and then you hit assign. So that's going to allow that when people access that, it'll pull that information up, as well as you'll be able to see it here in the report setting. So those are a couple of different accesses you have there. If we go back to that homepage, why is this important? Well, if something went missing, it allows you to see who showed the property on the day that the stuff went missing. It allows you to go back in your history. It also allows you that if you were going to do a price adjustment or something on your listings, or you received an offer, maybe it was a preemptive offer, and you've decided that you're going to entertain that preemptive offer, and you want to reach out to everybody else that has shown the property to let them know that you received a preemptive offer. And if their buyers are interested, they need to get an offer in, or just follow up to see what the feedback was, or whatever that might be. This allows you to access that information. Okay. Over here, you've got some access in the quick links. Okay, you can add a lockbox. That's going to allow you to add that lockbox by serial number. Okay, it also allows you to put in the shackle code and the MLS. Okay, so you've got some access there. If we go to listings, here's where it's got your MLS number assigned to which lockbox. From there, you've got some options. You can pull up the showing activity for that specific lockbox. You can email the showing agents, or you can pull the listing details. So there's a couple of different things that you can do there. So if I click on the MLS number, it's going to pull up that listing details here. Okay. It also, this one's got an MLS number on it, but it doesn't have an address. So you may want to add that address in, and then you could always add a photo or whatever you wanted to do there. You can go into lockbox settings. All the lockboxes you need to set on your phone app, not on the web page. Exactly. I think there is a place, but most of it you do on the phone app itself, because you have to program it with that lockbox. So this tells you what the shackle code is. It tells you what the CBS code is for that one. So if you have the CBS code turned on, we used to do this during COVID all the time because we needed that PED form before people could see the property. So we turned on the CBS codes, which meant that somebody couldn't access that property without that code. So once they sent over the form, we would turn that over. You also can require feedback. So you can hit that button to yes on your lockbox, which would then, after somebody showed the property, it would prompt them to leave feedback for you. So that's always a good one. And then this one shows you what the battery capacity is the last time this one was used. Okay, so there's some details there. You can go in, so that was under listings. You can go into reports, create a showing report, or create a key activity report. So the key activity report are the showings that you have done off your e-key versus the showing activity report that's going to be off of the lockbox itself. So when I click on showing activity report, I can say, hey, I want showings for all of my listings, specific lockbox, specific MLS number. If we go lockbox, it's going to drop down any lockboxes that you have in your inventory. So you need that serial number. But we go all listings, and then you're going to put in a date range. So maybe we want, showings on all the lockboxes from November 1st to the 30th of November. Include showing agent contact information, include feedback in the report. We can export to CSV by just clicking that little button, or view results. So those are your two options there. I'm going to click create report. So here is the showing report for anything in the month of November. Okay, and then it shows me the lockbox serial number over here. So there was a couple different lockboxes. There was one that ended in 19 and one that ended in 49. So you've got a couple different things there going on. So that's how you pull up those showing reports. Okay, so you can pull it up by lockbox. If we go in the settings, here's where you can update your login settings. It pulls this information over into the MLS. Personalized email notification, email signatures, and more under your general email settings. Your e-key showings, you can configure the day's activity data to show on e-key, and then privacy. Now, keep in mind on your lockboxes, you can time limit people's access to them. So oftentimes in like occupied property, sometimes I'll turn that on so somebody can't show up in the middle of the night and try to open that lockbox. But you would do that on your phone app with the lockbox in hand. So if you guys are interested in seeing a training on how to manage and access and set your lockbox, just let me know in the comments section, and we can put that training together for you. But that's under settings. Billing is obviously how you set up your billing. You can change your PIN number. So keep in mind, you've got two PIN numbers on your SupraEKey account. One is each lockbox has its own shackle code, which you set with the lockbox itself. And then you have a PIN number, which is what you use to be able to access lockboxes for showing. So your PIN number versus shackle code, those are the different options that you have. You can change your PIN number through the app here. Okay, you can also do it on, or through the website. You can also do that on your phone. So that's kind of the navigation for Supra. Okay, that's where you find all that information. A lot of us probably never log into here, but it does have some good information on there, as well as especially just being able to pull up those reports. If you've got a listing that's not moving, or you're trying to get feedback for some sellers, this is a good way to do it. The other option is that if you you get home at the end of the day, you've been showing properties to several different clients, and you have a key in your pocket and you're trying to figure out which listing that goes to, you could come in here on your reports and go to your showing, create a key activity report of houses that you've accessed to see if you can figure out which key that house goes back to. So there is Supra. If you guys have any questions, you can throw it in the comments section below and I can answer those for you. But that is how to access that Supra dashboard and where you would what you would utilize that for. So it's under your berries is the quickest way to access that Supra login. Okay, now hopping over to one login. Okay, which we have from our little one in the extension that we've added to our Google Chrome, right? Or you can go to realtyonegroup.onelogin.com and then log in. It's going to, generally speaking, open up to this frequent. So whatever you click on most frequently will show up here. But if we're looking for something specific, we can just click on everything, or you can search it in that search bar. So let's head down to ListTrac, because I think this is a cool tool that maybe a lot of us aren't utilizing to its full extent. And since we're kind of talking about listings, this is a good one to go to. This allows you to create reports for specific listings, which is kind of cool. So if you're looking for an easy report to send to your sellers on a regular basis, this might be a great one to utilize. So here's the dashboard. It's going to show where people are looking, like where the most views are on my listings, number of inquiries. Here's visitors to different websites. So it shows it down here where they're going, your performance on your listings. Okay. And this kind of does it all, where people, what markets people are in, saved listings, shares, and then price range. Okay, popular. So how would we utilize this? If we go down here to listings, so I'm just going down the little toolbar on the left-hand side. So maybe I want to look at my 244 Ford Road listing. I can just come in here. It automatically pulls the addresses for my listings into ListTrac, which is handy. It's based on your license number. So this is a great thing here. You can schedule this report to send to the seller. You can preview the report and you can go into report options. So again, if this is something that you're like, gosh, it'd be nice to have a report that I can easily put together that shows kind of that online activity, what's going on online with my seller's listings. This is a great thing to do. If we go into report options on the right-hand side, this is where you can edit your information here, email, website, phone, photos, all of that thing is there under agent profile. Then this is the brand information. So if I wanted to change like the primary color or upload the office logo, you can do it in here. Here's the primary font color and secondary font color. Okay. And then exclude competing broker sites. So if there's places that you want to exclude, like if I didn't want Zillow, I could click on this, hit the little arrows. Oops. It did all of them because I hit the all button. So let's try that again. Let's say I wanted to exclude SaleCore. I'm going to highlight it and hit the single arrow. And now it's going to exclude that from our data information. So if there's something you didn't want on there, you could eliminate it that way. Okay. Just hit save once you're done. Okay, then here's this report. Now notice this shows the last 30 days. Maybe I just want the last week of activity. We could just click the last 7 days. It's going to update all this stat here. If we preview that report, here's what it's going to look like that we could send to our sellers. Stats for the period. This is going all the way back from the beginning listing date until to date. List price, how many inquiries, how many people have favored it, how many property views, how many shares. You've got property views versus inquiries and property views from top 10 cities in the past 30 days. Okay, from here, I could copy the link to this. I could go PDF version of it. So I could download it and email it over. And then you can go into options. Again, you can just same options that we had before to update your information if it's not accurate. Okay. So I think this is cool because it just gives you a really quick report to be able to send to your sellers that shows them the activity going on their property. So I think this is a cool option there. Okay, so this is ListTrac. So if you're looking for a super simple, I'd recommend if you've got any listings, you should be sending them like a weekly report of what's going out and what kind of activity they're having on their property, if there's showings, how many showings I would add to this. So I would have this information online and I would download this to send to them maybe every Monday morning, as well as I would let them know how many showings we had on their property. If there's any feedback given, what that feedback was. If we hosted an open house on the property, I would get that information from the agent that hosted the open house. If it wasn't myself, make sure we know how many parties passed through, what the feedback was from the open house. So just so you're keeping them up to date on a weekly basis. Okay. This here, the seller report history just shows that if you had any reports that were sent out, it'll give you that data. Okay. So listing stats. Okay, so that's ListTrac. So I think it's really cool for that. Super simple, easy. Anything that can make my life easier and keep my sellers happy, I feel like is a win. So that is ListTrac. So again, that's in your one login right here, ListTrac. Okay, so super cool option to summarize all the online activity that's going on. Now, the other thing that you may want to do, which is why it might be nice for like a business page versus not, although some of your personal pages, you might be able to do this on social media as well. You can go in there and click and get the details for um, your posts as well. So you can see how many people saw that post, how many shares it had. So you might want to post that information as well as part of your summary report every Monday that goes out. Here's how many views we had on social media from ads, shares, posts, whatever it might be based on your property. You know, whatever you can do to help build your value as an agent is going to help you move forward and keep that seller happy, regardless of whether you get an offer or not. It's also going to help you continue to build your leverage for if you need to do like a price adjustment or something, right? If we're not in the right price range, this can be like, yeah, look, we're getting lots of traction online. We got lots of traction on social media. We've had showings, but we're just not getting offers or we're not having any showings. And so that's just going to help you if we're getting a lot of impressions online and we're just not getting any showings or any offers, then that's a good way to indicate that we need to do a price adjustment. So ListTrac there on one login. The other tool that we have available to us on this one login is LiveEasy. And again, going back to ListTrac, if you have any questions on that, feel free to throw them in that comment section. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. All right. Now, LiveEasy is another tool that we have. It used to be called MoveEasy. It is a free tool. It does have a paid version, but there's lots of options that you have for the free. One is that they have a moving concierge service that will help let your buyers know what you need to do as far as getting into the new home and setting up those utilities. So you just hit that invite moving client. You can do a buyer or a seller because it's going to remind them to shut stuff off. Put in their information here, where they're moving from, their previous address, their new address, and then it'll give them as well, it'll give them options of partners that have partnered with MoveEasy that might help them. Things like Dish Network or internet service or moving companies will be in here as well. So this is a good option. You could sign yourself up and just pick a couple addresses, your current address, pick a new address of a house that you really like that's in the MLS right now and plug yourself in here so that you can see what that experience looks like, what the options are. So play around with this just a little bit. So that would be a new buyer. Here would be a seller that's moving. Okay, you can also add people in here that are your sphere of influence. So you can upload your sphere of influence. And if you're like, Amy, why in the world would I want to upload my sphere of influence in here? Here is the invitation through Realty One Group Concierge Partnership with MoveEasy. You have the ability to sign up for your own concierge dashboard. It's meant to be a resource that can help with the management of living expenses, important document storage, and even home maintenance records. Customize the dashboard to work with your needs, whether you're renting, own a home, or even have investment properties, right? We're just trying to tie them back to you as many different ways as possible with things that they're going to find valuable. So that's why we put them in here. The other thing that you can do in here is we can add a vendor. Okay, so we can have a vendor database in here of everybody that you would recommend in your area of service, your favorite restaurants, your favorite barbers, your favorite pet care places or vets or groomers or your favorite handymen, your favorite plumbers, your electricians, right? All those things that somebody who lives or owns a house, right? Lives in an area or owns a house may want to access. You can add them in here under your vendor list. Okay, this is a great opportunity to say, hey, vendor, like you might meet somebody new or reach out to somebody that you use all the time. Maybe there's a roofer you use all the time. You're gonna be like, hey, roofer, here's what I would like to do. I would like to add you to my vendor list. But in return, I would like one referral from you per year, right? What if we had 100 vendors in there and they all told us that, yeah, hey, you're going to put me in front of your database of 500 people on a regular basis as a preferred vendor, and all you're asking for me in return is, hey, just one referral per year? What if we had 100 vendors in there and each one gave us, what if only 50% followed through on their promise and gave us a referral per year? That would be 50 referrals each year. Right? How cool would that be? That would help your business grow. So this could be a total way to lead generate and add value to potential vendors by adding that vendor list. Okay, so we're going to go back to the dashboard. This is going to show you how many total clients you have in here, how many clients you've invited, and how many have actually signed up. Okay, this is out of the movers. So these are actually buyers or sellers. And then your sphere of influence, how many you've invited, how many our total clients is one, clients invited is one, and clients sign up is one. Okay, if I wanted to see that, we would just hit view all. Here's my Amy test down here that I actually signed up. I don't know why it says 50% when I have total clients is one and clients invited is one and clients signed up is one. It should be 100%, but we'll just ignore the percentages for now. So here is that. We can come actions, we can edit, we can resend, or we can send the app invite, which if I send the app invite, it's going to send it to my phone and invite them to download the app. So they don't always just have to have this on their computer, but they can actually access it on their phone as well. So this is where you put in any details. Here, it'll assign, like if they've signed up. So I actually did this when I was moving properties, and it assigned a concierge person to me so that you can let them know, remind them of who that was. Okay. If we go into our vendors, here, that's the little wrench. Then this would show us anybody that we've put into the vendors list. It allows you to download that list. You can share that list with other people. Vendor impressions, right? Above ground swimming pools, bath remodel. Okay, so that just allows you to be able to kind of have fun there as well. And then you've got an accounts button where you would edit your information. Okay, so you could create custom checklists, onboarding checklist, view my checklist, utility providers, customer engagement. So you can invite, here's the email invite for buyers who are moving or sellers who are moving. So if you want to edit what that default is, you can do that in here. So you've got some different settings in there. So I think this is just a really cool tool that we have. Again, it's a free tool. It allows us to keep all of our vendors in one place. It allows us to keep it in a digital format, which makes it really easy to share with our buyers and sellers and our clients in our database. It allows us to be able to add constantly to this list, which is updated live. So it's not like, oh, I sent you a PDF now, and then in 2 months, I have to send you a new list because I added some people. And then a month after that, I added more people. So here's the new list. And then by the time people get that, they're like, I'm ignoring you. But this allows them one place that they can go to get this. This is also a great touch point. So if we go to download the app, we can go to the App Store. It's going to open up that App Store. You could share this link directly with people, right? There's the concierge information to download that app. Okay, so, but that gives us the ability that we could be like, hey, here's this really cool app I have where I have vendors available. So you could reach out to them. You could send them that link maybe this week. And then next week you could call and follow up and be like, hey, last week I texted you a link for this LiveEasy program that I'm utilizing now, where I'm going to keep a list of all of my preferred vendors. So if you're looking for a plumber, an electrician, a dog groomer, you know, auto repair place, like all of my favorite places are in there, and it gives you just great access to be able to find local, useful vendors that are trusted and preferred. And you could even ask them, hey, do you have anybody that you would recommend, or do you know any business owners that you would like being added to that? You can send them over to me, right? So you can just add in, or what are your favorite restaurants? This is also something that maybe could go out on a monthly email or text message, like, hey, this month I'm working on my vendors list, looking to add in chiropractors. Who is your favorite chiropractor? Right? And then you can go in there and have conversations with those chiropractors. Remember, anytime we recommend somebody, we want to try to recommend at least 3 options. So this is a good way to connect with our sphere, find out who their favorite people are. Maybe you don't have a resource for one of the areas that you're thinking, gosh, it'd be nice to be able to recommend, somebody who does dryer vent cleaning. So, hey, who have you used in the past to do dryer vent? Or maybe you don't have a dog, so you're like, I have no idea who I would use for a groomer. Who's your favorite groomer this month, right? Send me over your suggestions, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win a $10 gift card for your favorite groomer, right? So super easy, simple. You're going to collect those areas where you can refer people to build and add to that vendor list. You're also going to be able to reach out to those vendors and be like, hey, vendor, my client, we have a mutual client by the name of Susie Joe, and Susie Joe said that you are her absolute favorite groomer. And so here's the deal. I've got a vendor list that I send out to all of my clients. I'm hoping to build your business by adding you to my preferred vendor list. And in return, what I would like is if you could once a year, you talk to somebody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you just pass them to me so I can reach out to them and see if I could offer them my services, right? So it gives you a good opportunity to connect with that vendor. Now, not only have you added that vendor to your vendor list, you've connected with your client to get the referral in the first place. So you've interacted with them in that way, reminded them that you're in real estate and that you do more than just real estate, that you're the local expert and you're looking to build this vendor list. But now you've also connected with the vendor so you can add that vendor to your database and continue to start dropping on them and dripping on them to hopefully turn them into your client in the future by being the area expert. So how cool is that? And if you're growing a vendor's business by, sharing it with your database of 500 people, and, maybe even like 1% of those people, maybe 5 people start using that vendor, like how much of a valuable asset are you to that vendor that then you should be able to expect something in response? Or if we have this whole vendor list, then when we get ready to go do an event or an activity, we can reach out to our vendors that aren't just necessarily real estate related, but they're community related, and say, hey, vendors, I'm getting ready to host a movie night in my farm. I'd like to give you the opportunity to help sponsor that. You'd be featured. I'm going to have a banner printed up where you would be, thanking our sponsors. You'd be listed on there. You're welcome to show up. You can have a vendor table set up, right? How cool would that be? Because now, if, even if you got 10 vendors that all contributed $10, now maybe that event's paid for and you didn't have to spend a dime out of pocket to put on those cool events. So that would be really fun there. So this gives you an opportunity not just to connect with your clients, not just to provide an opportunity for service, to increase your level of service, but also to begin building this list of vendors that you could utilize to help you grow your business. You help them grow their business. You're creating more relationships, and in turn, you're going to create more business. So I highly recommend that you start using LiveEasy for those reasons. So again, we've talked about your Supra web management for your lockboxes and showing. We talked about your ListTrac that gives you the opportunity to create really nice reports for your sellers of their online activity. And then we talked about LiveEasy, where you can plug in our moving clients, both our buyers and our sellers, so their concierge service can help them with that moving process with setting up utilities and services. In addition, you can upload your sphere in there, and you can upload and create a vendor list that then you can share with everybody that's in this, and they can start downloading their app so that you're the resource for everything they need that is community or house related. So some super cool programs and apps. Later this week, tomorrow, we will be back on Wednesday with are running comps and creating a CMA with both Cloud CMA and RPR. So I'll show you how to do both of those. Also, we'll spend probably 30 to 40 minutes on just running a CMA out of berries and how to get it into like a Cloud CMA. And then we are off on Thursday because the office meeting is on Thursday, and we'll be back Friday. Stay tuned for time. I believe it's going to be at noon or at 10, I believe. I could be wrong though. So stay tuned for that. We'll be spending time going through all the new forms. There's some new forms that have been added to or will be added to our car forms library on Monday, as well as forms that have been changed. All those changes will roll out this coming Monday. So we'll be covering that on Friday. So make sure that you tune in for that one. Thanks everyone, and we will see you soon.